Hey, so I wanted to show how I begin the very beginning of my Jelly Roll rugs. So this is going to be the center of my rug, so it's going to be the first strip that I start with. I go ahead and line them up in the order that I like, and then I turn them upside down. So I'm starting with the end of my rug, okay? And the reason I do that is because when they're coming off of my machine, I roll them into a ball like this. Then I keep them in this bowl here, and then I just sew from that bowl. I don't have like a spool or anything, so I start from the end of my rug, and I'm going to show you how I cut that piece. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm going to start from the end, and I'm going to make sure that this is the top, because then every piece I pull off, that's what's going to connect to the next piece, okay? And I'm going to do a straight join with all of the colors that are the same. So these will have a straight join, and I'll do an angle join, but I'm going to try to angle it the opposite way to see how it looks. I don't know, just an idea I had, okay? So I'm going to start here, flip it upside down. I also have my batting hanging on a yarn holder down underneath. Mom. Okay, so I'm going to put my batting right on here. I'm using the 2.5 inch batting now. I like that it gives me a little bit fuller rug. So I'm going to go just barely under where the selvage is. That way I can fold it like here, and then my end will be nice and finished, okay? But this is going to be the last strip that I sew onto my rug. The way that I do it is I sew that underneath. So like as I'm coming around with my strips, my last strip I tuck underneath, and then I just kind of sew off. So what I do is I go down probably about this far. I never measure it, I just eyeball it, but measuring it right now, it's about 7 inches. So I go down about 7 inches or so, 6-7 inches for those of you that have kids, because I have kids and I drive a school bus, so 6-7 inches. I start cutting. I cut almost immediately straight to the middle. I go about halfway, and then I move it over to about the quarter. And this just takes the majority of the bulk out of the end. So when I tuck it under, see, here's from my last rug, here's from this rug, here's from the one before that. And I save them because you never know what you can use those extra pieces of batting for. But this way, when I tuck it under, I am going to have a lot less bulk on this end to sew underneath my rug, okay? So, okay, I bought another off-brand fabric tube maker. This one, again, looks 3D printed. You can kind of see, like, the, whatever that is called. Anyways, hopefully this one will work. Let's see if it's easy to pop on and off. That is easy to take on and off. That one's easy to take on and off. So we're going to try this one today. The way that I do it is like this. I fold that end up first, and I'm going to set that right in the big piece. Slide it up in there. Oh my gosh, my kids are so loud right now. Slide it up in there. And then open this up. See, it opens up right there. And now I'm going to stick this bigger piece on top. And then there's my first piece. It'll give me the first fold. To get the second fold, I'm going to go ahead and get my fold. And then I'm going to tuck that in where I want it. Okay. Now I'm holding it, and then I'll let it lay flat. It's going to just basically lay flat on the bottom down here. And then we're going to set this piece on top of it and clip it in place. And now that will create our second fold. Okay. Then when I start sewing, I just back stitch. I was going like across here and then this way before I started my serpentine stitch, but I found that that's kind of just a little extra waste of time. All I really need to do is stick in my serpentine stitch. When I back stitch, it doesn't go backwards, but it does do like a placement stitch, like in embroidery, how it goes in the same spot a couple of times. That's what back stitch does in the serpentine stitch. So I just start it just like that with the right in the middle placement stitch, and then I start going. Okay, I'm going to try a different setting on my serpentine stitch this time. Usually I use a 6 width 6.0 and a length of a 2 or a 2.5 or a 1.8. Just kind of go with the flow. But I decided I wanted to use a 5.5 and a 2.5. So I did a little sample right here. and it's going to give me just like this right here. If you can see that pink, that's what my 5.5 and 2.5 is going to be. So that's what I'm going to do on this one. Okay. Okay. Bye.